Yeah, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another great episode of Shyt Talkin Time with your boy Grams, not me, who else. I'm supposed to do person is talking shit. Got a very exciting episode, going on today. I guess you could. Well, don't really want to say it has, to go with the gatekeeper series. So we still got two more parts to shoot for that. One of them is already done. I just haven't edited and released it yet. Trying to wait till I shoot part three. Now, this episode is kind of one that's going to be close to home. We're going to be talking about a few people. Cat goes by the name of D Haven from Marcy Projects, close friend of Jay Z at one point in time in his life. They're not like a brother to him, but we'll get into that in a second. Um, Oschino, Philly, local Philly rapper. Um, and the whole Roots Picnic fiasco. Now, I tried to sit back and be quiet because I wasn't really going to tap in on the Roots Picnic because to me, it kind of like fuck with me a little bit. Um, we us as a city, a lot of people ask me about why I don't come out, and this is the reason why. Um, the type person I am, I really can't stand for no shit like that. Any of them cats up on that stage, I ain't even gonna lie, no disrespect. The only ones that should have been up there on that stage is probably Chris and maybe Freeway. Nobody else kind of sort of had no business up there. Definitely after the way, they've been done. Now I know one or two of them might have went up there just for the conversation, but I would like to know if they was able to have the conversation. A lot of people kept saying like little fly shit talking about he directed security, don't let them niggas in his area until it was time to go on stage. A lot of people question is he gonna have them at the Madison Square Garden show. I'm gonna say no. For what? It's a reasonable doubt, 30-year reasonable doubt anniversary. So why the fuck would he need state property for a 30-year reasonable doubt? If anything, he should have every artist that's still alive, like Foxy Brown. Of course, you can't get Biggie. Everybody that featured on the Reasonable Doubt album, or even any artists that still had something to do with the project. I don't see what State Property came from because they had nothing to do with the album. They came albums later. The momentum from Reasonable Doubt was gone. I don't see a need for them to be there. But that's the topic of the internet now. Conversational pieces, a bunch of shit that don't matter. So that's something they're gonna talk about. That's my honest opinion. I don't think they should be there. Not even saying, oh, he don't fuck with them. He fuck with them. It don't matter. It's he. Like y'all want me to name some name. Dame should be there. Big should be there. D Haven should be there. Foxy Brown should be there. Rel should be there. Chris Johns should be there. All the early Roc-A-Fella artists that were around when the project got put out, or even got careers off of it. So for me, we're gonna put that debate on this platform. I don't really think state property should be at the Madison Square Garden show because I just don't. Um, moving forward, why wasn't Sparks allowed? If the reason he wasn't allowed is because he be around Oschino, that's kind of gay. And I hope that's not the reason. I hope people just spitballing because out here in these streets, there's a lot of people who deal with people who people don't deal with, but it's for the business. See what I'm saying? So if he was doing something good for them cats or trying to show some type of love after all this time, I would have, I would have left Oschino out because y'all got y'all issues. But Spark danced around every question dealing with you. Never said nothing bad. Like I'm totally kind of lost. Even when niggas were saying he stole his music, he still never came out and said, "Oh yeah, me and Jay was in the studio and he did come in there and he seen me doing my thing and yeah, he liked it that joint and I gave it to him." See what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that makes me, question outside of what the normal person is questioning. Yeah, like, and that's just like how my mind goes. I really even That's like the questions I wonder. A lot of times I'm upset because I felt a couple of them should have stood tall. But like, man, fuck that nigga. I ain't going. See what I'm saying? Then a couple of them probably said, well, damn, if I go, this publicity is like on another level. So it depends on which level you want to look at it on as far as that. But, you know, when you see those Skino, which we knew wasn't going to show, I mean, we was even surprised to see the rest of state property. Definitely surprised me. But as far as that, nah, they don't belong in the Madison Square Garden show. Okay, moving on to the next topic, which is guy goes by the name of D Haven. Me personally, I have known D Haven, I want to say over 20 years. He popped up on the internet with sharing his little, Jay-Z stories, so on and so forth, his greatest wedding. So I remember back when he came out, you know, a lot of guys like, oh man, this bull's a liar. He's a liar. He used to go by the name of Headache. Now, fast forward on, I know why he go by the name of Headache because I knew the person he was going to be a headache for. D Haven, you got a lot of people in his comments calling him names, shit like that. Oh, he's lying. He's making up stories, this, and that. I'm gonna ask y'all one question about D Haven. Go and send me one clip with D Haven saying that he's owed money. Show me one clip with D Haven begging for something. Now, for me myself, I would say that D Haven is begging for something, but it ain't what y'all goofballs think it is. I think D Haven is seeking a conversation. Um, for those of you who haven't been around or haven't seen D Haven is a guy that was like a very close friend to Jay Z at one point in time in life, kind of like a childhood friend. Um, I don't know what happened between them. A few rumors have came. Oh, he said a verse in the song, which everybody believes every verse that he says. Y'all do, I don't. But as everyone believes, every verse he says, he said the Haven cave, right? So in the streets, when the nigga caved, that means he told. So D Haven told, where is the paperwork? Last time I checked, you can't just go run around saying somebody told without no paperwork. And this present date, it should be easy to just hand over the paperwork. Or for the last 20 years, we could have got paperwork on D Haven to show where he caved. So for that, I'm not gonna say he caved on nobody. Um, D Haven had a lot of heartfelt stories, pretty much, I don't know Jay-Z relationship, his mom, all that shit, but I guess she wasn't the best of mom. I don't know. But for some reason he said he was raised at D Haven. Oh, and for a while I haven't heard D Haven, but I think Oschino done brought him back out. And I mean he's telling all new stories. And it's like two stories that he told, well, three kind of like fucked me up. Like, yo, man, if niggas ain't smart enough to believe this man by now, the world really is brainwashed. And I know what it is. I know it is. We're gonna get to that in a second. But the first story he told was how him and Hove, he told a story about how his mom had to go and get Jay Z out of jail. Why not Jay Z's mom? I don't know. Then he was telling the story about how he was living with his aunt, him and Jay Z. His aunt kicked him out. Jay Z was still able to go to the house. It sounds like cousins or brothers to me. Hear a lot of stories that warn me, but the one story that bothered me the most was when he said he seen Jay Z mom a few years ago, and she told him that she knew that he was sorry. And I've been through not situations like that. I ain't never been through nothing like this, but similar. And then for somebody to come and say, I can see that you're sorry when I ain't sorry for shit because I ain't did nothing. But you say that, I mean, for me, how I know he still got love for boy, he kept his composure. Cause I would have flipped on his fucking mom right there. I don't give a fuck who mom it is, nigga. Disrespect. I mean, at the end of the day, he already disrespected the Haven mother by not showing up to her funeral after all she did for him. So the respect level I got for your mom, nigga, is next to nothing, unless D Haven still holds an ounce of love for this nigga. Cause I would have flipped on his mom like a motherfucker. Like, what? You feel sorry for who? No, you need to feel sorry for your piece of shit ass son who ain't staying tall and left his niggas hanging. Picked and choose who he wanted to fuck with, aka who he controlled. I could tell y'all why D Haven ain't around. This is my honest opinion because D Haven is an alpha. Hove ain't sitting around too many alphas. No disrespect to the people around him, but I'm just keeping it 100, bro. He don't deal with alphas. Beans was an alpha. That's why Beans had as long as he could control Beans as much as he could, because it was only 2%, but that 2% of control kept Beans around. Once he realized he couldn't control Beans, Beans had to go. Because that's an alpha. Anybody that he think is smarter than him, close to him, or will eat him has to go. See what I'm saying? So people like that, and I'm not saying this because he's a bit. No, I'm not saying that because we're gonna get on that topic in a minute. Because I ain't none of these goofies out here that just know how to look at what I see. I think a lot more than what I see. Plus, I know how to do research. It's all free. Same way it is to everybody, but they prefer to argue. So I don't know. And then it's like I don't feel like that, man. Yeah, I don't never think Diego was lying on him. I don't think none of the stories, definitely not when people verify them. And now you got niggas coming out now saying, oh, I don't even really fuck with Bull, but he ain't lying. I just don't fuck with him. Oh, okay. So that means he was telling the truth the whole time, like I said. Ain't nobody gonna give him no apologies and none of that shit. But also, too, niggas gonna keep brushing their teeth with main man Schwank. See what I'm saying? Not understanding what bull really is. And I don't want this to think this is turning into a Jay-Z hateathon or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan of Jay-Z. Always have been since day one. Jay-Z, the artist. Not sure I'm Cardi the man. Um, to me, like I always tell my friends, they be like, man, you listen to all that whole you hate him. No, I just hate the way that y'all put this boy on the pedestal that he doesn't belong on. I'm just a fair man, you know. People talk about goats, legends, so on and so forth. Man, you gotta get that tag where it's due. Seriously, you gotta give it where it's due. You can't just put it where you want to put it just because that's where it fits for y'all. No, it don't work that way. So we gonna show some. We gonna give him a little brief rundown of his favorite legendary line: "Men lie, women lie, numbers don't." Check this out. Y'all guys go back, do some research. Just do a comparison of first week release sales against every artist who they say that he blackballed or say that he held back or say that he put them on the shelf. Go look at their numbers, and their numbers will tell a story. Like, for instance, I'll give you one. Y'all got to go do the research on the rest. It took me some time. I mean, but I actually probably put it in the description because it's cool information. Definitely to twist your mind because, like, people say, oh, he's the greatest, right? Reasonable Doubt came out 30 years ago as of next month. He was rapping years before Reasonable Doubt came out, right? So let's be fair and just give him a 35-year musical career, right? In 35 years, no, we're going to do the 30 because that's what he counted. We're going to give him this 30. He has sold 90 million records worldwide. Drake has sold 190 million records. And then he just released some more CDs. So he's probably definitely going to hit 200 million after they tally up from these releases, which clearly surpassed. He smoked him a long time ago. And then it's like, I'm getting tired of it keep being like this whole LeBron and Mike shit. You know, oh, he just beat him out in Billboard hits. He just beat him out. Oh, he kind of been beating him out. He beat him up quite some time ago, but y'all keep trying to find ways to keep the conversation alive and make it not go there. But the truth is the truth. I mean, I'm not no liar, bro. The boy beat the fuck. Like I said, when that nigga said what he said out of his mouth, which is he one hit from Michael Jackson, nigga beat it, he was talking to you, ho. He was talking to you. Because he knew he was going to get that last Billboard hit, which was going to surpass somebody, everybody. See what I'm saying? Which is not everybody. You gotta peep the slick shit that Drake talk his peers. Like, do you notice that we have to put this man in the same conversation as Michael Jackson and other legendary people? Because those are the only ones that have sold as many records as this guy. See what I'm saying? And you can't deny that. He can point to perpetuity and contracts. And man, ain't nobody trying to hear none of that whole. We ain't, bro. The numbers is the numbers. Stats is the stats. He ain't got more money, but he sold more hours. Bro, you was on an indie label. You had a joint venture. He don't. You know this. The world knows this. The world know that every time Drake gets paid, Jay Prince gets paid, Birdman get paid, Wayne probably get paid. I mean, we know a bunch of people get paid when he get paid. So that's sad because if they didn't get paid when he got paid, he would have more money. So you should be quiet that he has to pay all these people because it will really show how this little ass Canada nigga came in and did everything you did in half the time. Plus, double job sales, double, well, streams is not even a conversation. Beat your number one Billboard hits, and then he could possibly ink a deal that put him in the same tax bracket with you. That's dangerous. So I know why he don't like Bull. But at the end of the day, let's get back to this comparison that always got me. I was a young Bull when it released. Y'all can go Google it. I seen it on the source cover, front page of the source. It had Def Jam whole line. They sold 10 million records. That was between DMX, Method Man, Keith Murray, Redman, and somebody else. I think might have been LL. He was releasing at that time. You know what he was releasing? A couple 100,000 units. DMX is going 5, 6 times platinum. He's releasing a couple 100,000 units. Everybody poked fun at Nas. Nas won platinum in one day. One day. And no, it wasn't no streams and no downloads. That means 1 million people lined up at a store worldwide and bought Nas shit. Jay-Z never seen that. So y'all see where these envious points come in with, or even with the DMX shit. Yeah, man, DMX did Diamond in like 3 albums. Both did Diamond in 25 years. I'm just saying that the proof is online, but y'all rather listen to everything that man said out of his mouth and think that shit true. That shit cool. You know? Even like that whole Nicki Minaj shit. I mean, I ain't gonna really indulge into that shit too much because that's that girl business. But at the end of the day, I respect Nicki and anybody that stands up to him because a lot of people do shut up when he talks and they know how he can fuck with their career, so they be quiet, some of them. But Nicki ain't never shut up to that nigga. That's why I fuck with her. Call her, oh, she coked out. Nah, she just ain't scared of this nigga. And I can tell y'all the reason why. Well, we had effect, we gonna end this episode when we tell you the reason why the artists are not afraid to go at him like the artists back in the day. Y'all seen what he did to the game. One freestyle fucked up his whole traction. You seen what Def for Auto Tune did. Fucked up a lot of niggas' traction. He ain't got that power no more. And the older niggas that's feeling his rhymes do not control shit. They don't have social media presence. They don't have nothing to push his narrative outside of him. That's why y'all see that video is dead in a week. 1 week. Ain't nobody talking about that roof shit no more. Ain't nobody talking about that video is dead already because he doesn't have a big enough presence. Now let that been Drake go to the Roots picnic and this Jay-Z. That shit would have been bubbling all summer long. because it's not the artist, it's not the person, it's their fan base that elevates it to the moon. So a lot of these people out here that ain't got no problem opening their mouth against him, that's because they have a bigger fan base. And that's what y'all forgot. The baby taught y'all a lot when he showed y'all, nigga, can't nobody blackball me. I got a fan base. Yes, they blackball him in the public eyes, but not in the stream eyes where he still get paid. They ain't blackball him in the show eyes where he still get paid. So that's why I'll be like, y'all gotta understand. But say for instance, people was dumb enough not to follow his career, and it's like they do in present day, and y'all would have really believed they blackballed the baby. He can't do nothing else. He done. Ah, bro, that man was chilling because he wanted to. Y'all peep, he came out the gate hot. He got a bunch of babies. Nigga, he wanted to spend time with his family. That's what the sit down was. It wasn't because he was blackballed, he couldn't get shows or he couldn't do nothing. Oh, y'all got to do the homework and stop listening to what people say. Information is free. You just got to read it and input it. And if you want to sit online and listen to somebody tell you the information, make sure you listen to the right person. And that's where a lot of y'all go wrong at. Because when I argue with people, like I be knowing the facts. I do what I do. I have to know the facts to tell y'all. So I know what I know, but I don't speak on everything. I just be like, I ain't fucking. But when it comes to Jay-Z, yeah, that shit it's a touchy topic. It's a love-hate relationship. Like I said, I love Dame to death. Dame is like to me one of our greatest business minds of our era. No matter what he did, no matter what he got, I don't give a fuck. It's what he built. He built some shit y'all niggas couldn't. He built some shit I couldn't. So how could I ever talk bad about him? Keep it 100, Jay-Z. He built some shit you couldn't. Just saying. I don't know why people get like that, act like they don't need other people to move forward because you was spitting rhymes before you met that nigga. And I don't think your rhymes was getting you nowhere. That's the reason why Reasonable Doubt released with 35,000 copies. 35,000. Go look and see what DMX first CD released. Go look and see what Biggie first CD released. Go look at a lot of niggas first releases. But then y'all say my peers. Peers are rappers. But in sales, y'all niggas ain't peers with that man, bro. Y'all got y'all shine the first week. That nigga had to wait years before his shit turned over and went platinum. See what I'm saying? That's why I used to argue with my man, like, hold up, bro, y'all keep talking all this disrespect on my nigga Beans, nigga. They both gold artists. Beanie Siegel released every CD, released gold. Memphis Bleak gold. Jay-Z did the same thing. His platinum album is him pre-selling 1,000,000 copies. Pre-sold 1,000,000 copies just so you can go platinum at 12 o'clock. Man, Nas did that shit when niggas lining up at the store. Lil Wayne did that shit when niggas lining up at the store. Outkast did that shit when niggas lining up at the store. Nelly did that shit. Y'all get the thing, everything gotta be some back alley shit with this bull, bro. So for that reason, no, I can't. It's a lot of things I can't stand on. I cannot take the rhymes. I cannot take the legacy. But at the end of the day, I can take the rhymes away when you don't even want to give the niggas who the rhymes is about their proper credit. The revolutionary lines that came out your mouth, what did they was other people's shit. You don't even want to fuck with the niggas who it was. So to me, it's a judgment of character. It's a judgment of character. And if you look back at my other videos where I actually answered the question, I would take the 500,000 because me sitting down eating dinner with Jay-Z can either what make me a new puppet. He not gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna make you a billionaire just like me." No, but guess what? I could take that 500,000 and go walk his ass down and become a billionaire just like him. Then we can have a dinner on common grounds, billionaire talk. He wasn't like that. A lot of them rich people wouldn't like what I just said because now you just watched a regular person become immortal like you. They don't like us being like them. They want us to stay where we at. Like y'all think that these people don't watch our platforms. I mean, like honestly, YouTube, this is a shit to listen to y'all too. You know, because some of my viewers, I follow y'all, subscribe to y'all channels too. Don't lie. Y'all subscribe, I subscribe back. Everybody. But this is just to show you all these people are seeing these episodes because I know for a fact that um they can definitely say, okay, Dan, this is a talented brother, let's get him. No, they would rather leave that talented brother sitting there getting 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views instead of taking the talented brother, pairing him with some other talented people. And now it's a bigger platform. No, they don't think that way. Their time is over. But if I came to them with my business entity and wanted to give them half or nothing, I do all the build up, come and get them 20% just to stand next to me and smile. They'll be all for that. Just saying. That's like even saying with the Bleak situation, Hove ain't been on this podcast because he don't own. He don't probably own 1% of that podcast. Is why he ain't fucking. Not being funny, but it's a business. Every time he moves or gets in front of a camera, it generates money or some type of publicity that he wants. He don't want the publicity for being on Bleach podcast. Even though I think that would be probably like a internet breaking episode because they been around each other so long, they can ask crazy questions. They didn't got stories that we don't know or other artists on the label know because they got their own brotherly relationship. So I think that would have been a cool episode, but it probably won't happen now unless people speak into existence. If y'all notice, he does a lot of things at the pressure. So if you got so many people saying he fucked up because y'all crazy as shit. If it wasn't chatter going around before the Roots picnic about state property, surprise appearance. Y'all crazy as shit. But you think he just called them niggas when he showed up and said, man, I feel like doing a state property union. Call the guys and see if they can come. No, that conversation was had already because it was niggas in the Reddit forum saying that he'd be another ass nigga if he came to these niggas city and performed. What else? Out of respect. It wasn't even none of that. It wasn't even no young bullshit or none of that. Respect. These Philly niggas kept Nas off your ass. These Philly niggas kept Kiss off your ass. Then on top of that, nigga, you took their sound and propelled your career how farther. You kind of owe them, bro. So at the end of the day, it should have been a no-brainer. They should have been on a ticket. 100. Just saying. They should have had a set. They own set. Not just each song you did with him. See what I'm saying? Like certain stuff, it is what it is, but I would just like to see, I'm gonna monitor behind the scenes of how that state property relationship go now. Let's see if Beans is able to do something with his old music. Let's see if Neef gets to put out mixtapes and shit like Chris do and not out his own pocket. See what I'm saying? Because I tell people all the time, deep down inside, Freeway and Chris are still signed to him. You want to keep it 100, I think they all still signed to him because Roc-A-Fella never fully diminished. That's the reason why Beanie Siegel had to go see him after Roc-A-Fella was supposed to be dead because he still holds their contract. Whatever part of that business that held the contracts, I think he still controlled because they really just went to Dame and got released. And I heard Dame don't have a problem releasing nobody. So it's not Dame, or if it is, Dame's side already been released. They were just waiting on Jay-Z's side. So, like for instance, with people like Oschino, I didn't never know this. I thought that they had a regular deal. I didn't know he had his own separate deal on his own. And then you never dropped the album. So to my recollection, he's still signed to him. If I'm correct. I mean, because if you sign a deal, contingent upon albums, right? And I don't think Oschino ever dropped the album on Roc-A-Fella. So to my knowledge, he's still signed to Roc-A-Fella. Um, I think Freeway re-signed back to another imprint of Roc-A-Fella, and I think Young Chris did. Same thing with Neef. Neef, I don't know how many CDs the Young Guns owed them. So as the Young Guns, they might still be signed to Roc-A-Fella, but it's Chris and Neef. I don't think they are. But I think Chris re-signed on his own, just not Neef. Because I think if I'm correct, Neef been doing his own musical shit for the last couple of years out of his own pocket. So I don't know how that works out. Freeway, as you see, he's been pretty taken care of because he stayed under the Roc-A-Fella umbrella. which he should have. He didn't really have any gripes. He free didn't take. I mean, he. I'm not gonna say free because see, this is the one thing too we gotta put out there. I'm not gonna say and just chastise these New York niggas just because I'm a Philly nigga because yes, we do have a habit of dropping the ball. Yes, they did give us the money. Yes, they did put us in position. Yes, they did put us in the spotlight. The second part of what happened to the fall of it ain't got nothing to do with them, and that's not what I'm talking about. My Philly people, my Philly peers, I'll grind them up for their doings on this behalf at another time. I'm just showing y'all, how y'all need to be looking at this situation. And it definitely moving forward. I hope y'all understand. But shit like that, it just like I said, it puzzles me, man. And then it's like how this whole situation just got us, well, not them, because the rest of the state probably is fine, but it just even not having the whole group together. They could have been doing shows the whole time, tours the whole time, making money, period. But I got a feeling a lot of people wants to see them as a unit. That PD, Owen Sparks, that whole vibe. See what I'm saying? Like state property could actually do a, like big events if they do all these state property together songs and then their individual songs that people know. They got a show, but they won't never be together again for us to know or what could have possibly happened. But it is what it is. Definitely congratulations, Oschino. I got a feeling he got a platform coming soon. I mean, I've been waiting myself too. I mean, I agree with what he said. Why waste the money on the platform? He can just turn his phone on at home. But I know that people's gonna get in his head to let him know that you can't just sit at home on your phone for a while because the better production and the guests and the set, it brings more attention. More attention bring more views bring more money. Just for instance, like I said, yes, his numbers is doing pretty good. But now when you start tapping into actually having the studio, now you getting that 100K every view. I mean, every video they drop, 100K same day. Over a week, you a couple 100K in. So I mean, I understand the production. I preach it myself, you know, but that's definitely big good shit, man. I hope he do get his own platform, start his own thing. Because I mean, a lot of people don't understand how, like I said, I be biased. I'm one of them people in the city where I don't really have a side. See what I'm saying? No, I don't agree with. I have disagreements with what both sides do. See what I'm saying? Oskino do things which I really don't agree with. The other side does things that I really don't agree with. So for me, it's hard to ever say and say, "Oh, I'll pick a side. I fuck with these niggas, and I don't fuck with them niggas." Like at the end of the day, none of them are in my personal circle. See what I'm saying? None of them. My success was built from the mud. So for me, I don't have to pick a side because I don't owe nobody shit other than myself. So I pick my side. My side decides to stay biased because I can voice my opinion about anything. See what I'm saying? Which is supposed to be a journalist is not supposed to be one sided. It's supposed to be able to see the big picture. So even if I'm interviewing my homie, I still got to answer the hard questions. I can't dumb the questions down just because it's my homie. And that's what podcasting does. Dumb the questions down because it's your homie. But to me, I just hope everybody has success. Everybody, move forward. I know I will. So I definitely hope you will. At the end of the day, that's it. What can I say? No. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. I mean, it's just those topics been grinding my gears. I argue a lot about this whole Jay-Z thing. I actually shot a whole episode in the car the other day when I was waiting at work, and I didn't really like it, so I had to redo it. You know, this one came out a lot better because I got to put a little bit more details into the episode than I did the other day, being that I was recording from my phone. Also, man, I need you guys to support me. Y'all go over to Facebook. I got a new amazing Facebook group which can help everybody. So please don't be biased on this one, guys. It's called Who Got Work. Anybody who know me from back in the day, I always played with my domain name, so you might remember that was one of my top ones out my stable. But Who Got Work is a cool job board which is hosted on Facebook. You can find it easy as pie. Who Got Work. Pretty much what Who Got Work job board is. It's just like any other job board. The users or the admin are allowed to post jobs. Admin posts, like I say, are paid posting. I mean, the users can post, but they have to be verified because users do post spam links and all types of other stuff. So if it's verified, it's relevant, we'll post it. If not, you need to go to the admin. But the beautiful thing about it is I sit back on Instagram and I watch a lot of these small business cats and they go through my same struggle. They can't find workers, they stuck on a job or they took a job at the last minute. It's a couple people, their team ain't there. Don't worry about it. Come on over to Facebook, go ahead and post your job posting that Who Got Work. One of the people in the group will definitely be able to help you out. What I'm doing now is I'm building up the member base first and then I'll bring in the employers because I actually have a lot of personal people who is in need of workers or help or anything. So what I decided to do is build this group where I can bring in the companies and the workers, and they can just go ahead and do their thing. And it shouldn't be a way because finding work right now in this day and age, it's just a unique thing. And we Who Got Works platforms on, as you see, everything with us has like a street vibe. So of course we'll be focusing on a lot of felon hire jobs. Definitely second chances. I got a few. So I'm all big on second chances. So we definitely will have a big category of felon hire jobs. A lot of second chance opportunities, a lot of literature for you to read through, let you know about today's market, what type of jobs you need to be shooting for, what wages you need to be shooting for. I'm gonna be talking about the economy in the city of Philadelphia, like how much you should be making if you live in Frankfurt, or how much you need to make to live in Northeast, or how much you need to make to live in West Philly. See what I'm saying? 'Cause those are the things that's important that set a lot of people back. If you living in Northeast and you got a job where you only making $3,200 a month, that's not enough. If you live in Northeast, your rent probably 2 grand, then plus your bills. God forbid, don't have a car, a cell phone, and some other stuff. You can't even survive, and you already started. So that's the information that's important to a lot of people. Or even having a family member where y'all can partner up and live together and split the costs for a while, maybe 6 to 8 months, and then y'all can branch off or even try to figure out, go to your job, get some extra hours, or even get promoted. I always say 6 months because you can get promoted and then you're making more money, you can afford to live on your own. I just trying to get more people structured into working with each other. I'm coming from the city of Philly. We all got ego. We all think we know everything. We all think we better than everybody. But some of the times y'all gotta realize I ain't never paid no bill with no ego. I damn sure paid some bills with some teamwork and some dedication and some help. But at the end of the day, outside of that, I don't know no other way. So this is the time where we need to stop looking at each other as divided people, start looking at each other as a unit, and y'all can get ahead. One more thing before I go. I mean, it's just basic living costs. You got a two-family home, with two families living in it. That's going to cost you probably about 3 grand, so 1,500 a month for a two-family home. Now it could be two families, which is mom, dad, and maybe a grown kid, or a mom and dad and teenagers. So you got two adult incomes in each house to come up with that 1,500. So say for instance, if they was at the number of 3,200 a month, which is common, right? Each person only got to put out 750 for the living costs, roughly towards the bills, because there's more people in the house. You would have to look at. Let's just round it off and say 1,000 a month. See what I'm saying? So now you got that 1,000 a month, which is 4 grand. That's a very nice house. That's a very comfortable living situation. Your kids get to go to county schools with white kids and shit like that. Way better situations, better programs. By just basic, communication and little small stuff. And like I tell people, I run across a lot of two-family houses that's for about 2,500, 20, close to 3 grand a month. But you got 4,000 if you got two families living. 4,000, for rent and utilities is pretty good. And then you still got the rest of your paycheck money from the rest of the month to take care of your kids, go on vacation, pay your car note, anything that comes about. You can even got room to save now. So if you go on that 6 month plan, like I told you, by the time the 6 months is up, even while you're living, you still should have about $2,000, $3,000 saved. That's the benefits of being two families in a two-family house conversus to trying to ball out and say, I'm gonna get it by myself. And that's why your ass get evicted in 6 months. But as always, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. Please make sure you smash that like button. And as always, your boy will see you again next time.